Hi everyone, welcome back. Glad to have you in the space as we continue with our daily 6:30 to 7:30 meditation, what I call the spiritual vaccine. As you know, the meditation museums are both closed, the one in Tysons, Virginia, and the one in Silver Spring, Maryland. And we're looking forward to reopening so we can physically be with you, physically see you, physically be there with you, serve you, and to be served by you as well. Please tell me that everything is going well at home and you still have your job and you're just working from home at this time, and the kids and everyone has kind of eventually settled into a routine that somehow seems to be sustainable for the home. Hopefully the home isn't too much in a disarray with everyone at home, but that everyone's still able to pick up for themselves, clean up, contribute in whatever way they can. If you have a house, maybe you're doing more gardening, sorting out things in the closets. If you have an apartment, maybe you're going for longer walks, just seeing neighbors across the street. If you have a pet, taking your pet out, looking up in the sky, and just enjoying how beautiful the sky is. And one of the things that I have been loving is just the sound of the birds chirping. Usually you hear the helicopters, the airplanes, the trucks, the cars driving by. That just drowns out the natural sound of the nature. And I was happy to hear how the pollution in the air is reducing, the waters are getting cleaner, the ozone layer is getting better. I guess we were the ones who were making it a mess, huh? Nature just wasn't falling apart on her own, but perhaps we just weren't giving her enough reverence and enough appreciation and gratitude for what she's offered us. So, to Mother Nature, forgive us please for being so selfish. Yesterday was a wonderful conversation with financial expert Ken Honda on the Happy Money. If you haven't had a chance of seeing that program, please just click right there on the YouTube link and go to yesterday's program. You'll enjoy it immensely. He gave us some great tools in how to weather this financial period that might be a little bit difficult for many, many, many folks in the country, but also around the entire world. We started to do our video live YouTube and now on Facebook. Hi to all of our Facebook family and friends. From March the 16th, because that's when we closed the museum. Our final day was on March 15th. And every day since March 16th, we've been with you, 6:30 every day to 7:30. We've had wonderful guests. We've had Lexi Brockway Potamkin, former Miss World USA. We've had Louis Gossett Jr., Oscar winner, and one of the key actors in Officer and the Gentleman. We've had Rita Cannon to take us through the voice of Om. We've had Dr. Kanu Kogod, and even Bishop Carlton Pearson, to name just a few. We're looking forward to getting a lot more on board as well, and see how long this will go, our spiritual vaccine, until we get to be reopened. Of course, my heart would love to keep joining you every day at 6:30 to 7:30. But I have to say, just knowing that I have to be here with you every day has kept me on top of my game. And you might not know this, but early in the morning at 4 o'clock, for the advanced students who study at the Meditation Museum and all of the Brahma Kumaris around the world, the students wake up at 4 o'clock to deepen their link with Source, to be clear on what's going on in their heads. And at 6:15 we have our regular morning class to keep guiding us and to spiritually keep us clear as to who we are, who we belong to, and why we are here. So you might have heard by now that on March 27th, our lovely Dadi Janki passed away and transitioned. It was in India at the time. We had all just come back from India. I think I came back from India maybe just 2 weeks after she passed away. And by then, the country had locked down and we couldn't take a flight into India. So her final rites was done amongst a few individuals, and it was very peaceful and very quiet. And one of the most unique things about the spirit of Dadi Janki was the power of her integrity as a human being. Never would she lie, never would she cheat, never would she be angry with you, but she would always be wise, loving, playful, when she's actually really wanting you to catch a signal, and I've gotten this many times, she'll be very detached and very quiet, and she would look at you knowing that you would know what to do. She would look at you in a way and say, you know what to do. You know who you are. You know what to do. I've had the fortune of knowing her since I was a young girl, and in my early 20s, I had the chance of following her command by saying, come with her, and I must have been about 24 at the time. And after that, I moved into an ashram, lived with a whole bunch of people, been through quite a lot of different ups and downs, ins and outs. In a weird way, when I look back at it, it didn't feel that painful. I will say I have maybe just one memory that I'm still working on, which is connected to something deep in me, which I know with more focus, being more persistent, being very honest and very truthful, it will be cleared. But I know that there's still that one area that I want to sort through, and I know it has influenced quite a lot of things as I've moved along in my journey. But it was Dadi that really held me up and kept me going, and she just knows what's in your heart and the blessings that she has given for so many of us around the world. They've all come true. She was never anyone's guru. We don't have gurus in the Brahma Kumaris, so sorry for those who were looking for gurus. But she was a friend, she was a mother, a teacher, a guide. She would give you the finger when you were just going wrong, pull your ear, try to get your act together. But she always had the best. She always had the best thoughts for you. She just had the best interest for your being. So in our Indian culture, when somebody passes away, we usually pay tribute to them for 13 days straight. So we will prepare the food that the soul liked, and we'll cook it and offer it to God and offer it to the soul. And today marks her 13th day. So on this day, her soul is supposed to basically do the final goodbyes to everyone that she's physically very aware of. And so the way that I've understood that it works, it's like all of the relationship that you've had with her, the energy of her personality and your energy, when you think of each other, it does magic. And it begins to signal to you, how are you? What's going on? Are you all right? So there is a very, very powerful experience today for so many of us as she moves on to her next journey. And the intention is that Daddy is coming back with full force to really help with transforming the world and usher through a golden aged world where nobody is unkind to anyone. No one's greedy. No one finds satisfaction by pushing somebody down so that they stay up. There's always enough for everyone. And I'm not quite sure why we haven't understood that universal law. That if you're not doing well and you're struggling, I'm not doing well and I'm struggling. Even if I've got all the money and you don't, there's no way I could be okay with that. So in whatever way we can learn from this particular period that we're in and rise up above it with the best of who we are and the best that we can be for mankind. Let's make this month or 2 or 3 that we're not able to go out and do the things that we used to, that period to really make the transformation that you need. And the fact that Dadi Janki has left at this time, we're getting extra support and we're getting extra blessings and we're getting extra love. So today will be our final tribute for her. When she first passed away, I immediately did a tribute and I had to cancel my program that I was going to have with Dr. Bradley Nelson. But we also did a program with him, I think about 2 or 3 days ago. So hopefully you got a chance to watch that one. That one was incredible. So in today's program, it'll be simple. There is a wonderful movie, a short film done on Dadi Janki called Beyond Words. And that will run through for about almost half an hour. And what I'd like you to do after that 27 minutes, what I'd like you to do after the movie's over, we're going to put on the mantra of Om. And I want you to just sit in that meditation as the Om mantra just guides you into reflect on your own life. to just reflect, how have you been? What are you doing? Are you okay? And to be able to just find an answer. And then from there, I'll show you some real special footage of Dadi. I think some of them are with me with my young days and some friends around the world. And a song that Lucinda Drayton from the group called Bliss had, what did they do when they produce a song? When they wrote, she wrote the song called Thank You. And the words in there are priceless. And then we'll just end with, again, just some music and memories. And as you look into Dadi's eyes or look at her story, just see her as an inspiration, maybe someone that you could resonate with somehow by coming to the Meditation Museum and beginning to learn more about this particular path of spiritual evolution, spiritual enrichment, spiritual enlightenment, and most definitely spiritual love. So thank you for joining us today. You won't see me back at the end of the program. I'll be in silence because I've been in silence most of the day today. But I really wanted to come out and join you today on this very, very special day of ours, and to have you be a part of something that has been not only important to me, but millions around the world. So please enjoy, take care, and thank you so much for joining us. All the best. And allow your body to relax. Your mind is quiet and still.
Dadi Janki is the best kept secret in the world.
Who is Dadi? One of the spiritual giants, that have come to the full expression of what a human being can be.
She's just like that.
She's smart. She is a little bit irreverent. She is the one who will tell you what's true about you.
And you have to rise to the vision that she has for you, and that's a challenge.
And she started talking to me about conscience and how our conscience has become clouded with so many influences. And I said, well, how does one clean the conscience? And she said, through meditation. And I thought, I have to learn meditation.
तो हमने कोई कुछ किया नहीं है, पर उसकी उम्मीदें निमित्त हमारे थ्रू पूरी कर रहा है.
And so I always feel as if I am not doing anything, but it's the hopes of the Supreme, the feelings of the Supreme that are being translated through me, that are working through me and benefiting others.
ये कर रहा है.
It's my heart, it's my mind, and it's the eyes that are enabling things to be done.
शांति से कर रहा है.
And that we have to use the power of peace in everything we do.
The Brahma Kumaris had started in Karachi in 1937, And Dadi Janki joined them just around a year and a half later, and she was at that point 21 years old. The whole community of the Brahma Kumaris, around 300 of them, were engaged in deep, intense meditation through until 1950, when they came to India, to Mount Abu. And so, because of her long years with Brahma Baba and also her own quality of lifestyle, they gave her the term Dadi, which means elder sister. It's a term of love and respect. And in 1974, she came abroad. Her first stop was London. And from London, she started to serve the whole world, basically.
बदल जाए दुनिया न बदलेंगे हम तुम्हारी कसम.
And Dadi Janki, at the age of 92, then took on the mantle of leadership of the whole organization. And so she started a new job, age 92 at that time. And age 95 today, she still travels over the world. Age is not a factor. The spirit is eternal and very strong.
Where do I get this strength from?
शॉर्ट में बताती हूँ. हम अपने संकल्प समय को सफल किया, वेस्ट नहीं किया, इसलिए आई है.
In short, I will tell you that it's because I haven't wasted my thoughts and my energy. That's why I have a lot of strength today.
पॉजिटिव प्योर अपने अंदर शांति की शक्ति बढ़ता है.
Pure and positive thoughts help me to accumulate strength
हिंदी में बहुत
inside.
अच्छा शब्द है और इस संकल्प से खुद को भी ताकत मिलती है, औरों को ताकत मिलती है.
And through these good wishes, the self receives strength and others also receive strength from me.
I'm organizing every year leadership journeys with my top business leaders. And we went to visit Mount Abu. So we found an organization that had sold nothing but seemed to have enough money, has no roles and goals, no manuals, no variable pay, no bonus schemes, no shares, and was very well organized. And there you learned about a leader like Dadi Janki, who was the head of a large organization, that there's another way of leading organizations, not necessarily by structure and processes, but more by the power of who she is. So not by the power of position, but by the power of her being. If you take business leaders to Dadi and say, look at her, This young, old in age, young in mind woman is an incredible leader of a very large organization of volunteers. And if we can get to her level of leadership, then we also have an organization of volunteers, although we still pay them even.
Well, it is a paradox because the Brahma Kumaris really are the only women's-led spiritual organisation in the world, and Dadi, Janki, as their leader, is a woman, which is very unusual. The vision of the founder of the Brahma Kumaris, of Brahma Baba, was that there was a time when women needed to go into a leadership role. And I've also heard stories many times from India in the early days when the women, the sisters, the early BKs would go into a situation and they would automatically receive much more friendship and peace back from people because they were women.
The way I look upon it, that the Brahma Kumaris found out a system, a spiritual system, that is very easily attainable for a lot of people. Because being spiritual and being very well developed spiritually is nice, you know, but in the end of the day, yeah, we are in the world. Here is where it has to happen, and you have to be, that's at least my opinion, you have to be okay with yourself here.
All the work that happens around here, whether it's the cooking or the cleaning or the washing or the office or the garden or reception, everything is done by the people who live and work here, who are volunteers, who are meditators, and everything they do actually is an expression of their love. And that's why they don't charge for what they offer.
I like to feel positive about the future of the world, but then I turn on the news and I just see one horrible story after another.
महात्मा ऐसा पुरुषार्थ करके इतनी अपने अंदर ऐसी स्थिति बनाए उन लोगों को स्थिति बनाने में मदद करे.
What do I feel is important is that I, the soul, make the effort to create an internal state that is so stable that enables others to become stable.
Whatever is happening inside is what creates the situation outside. Sometimes when it's a situation of problems and difficulties, we don't want to believe it. We'd like to think that the problems are out there and I'm quite separate, but not true. Whatever's going on inside of me has made the situation happen in the way it has. And so to try and put things right, I have to sort things out inside first. Then I can deal with the situation that's outside.
पहले understanding से realize करे.
And so first of all, I need to have this understanding of introversion, extroversion, and realize where I need to go inside.
महात्मा गांधी ने कहा था, talk no evil, hear no evil, see no evil.
Mahatma Gandhi had started this phrase, talk no evil, hear no evil, and speak no
भगवान ने
evil.
सिखाया, think no evil.
And God has taught us, think no evil.
Think no evil.
Look, if you want to change your character, if you want to serve the world in this way, then every thought, you have to look at every thought. What's the thought you're holding in your mind that is generating the actions that you're taking? Now that is a big challenge.
जैसे मैंने सफलता पाई.
And when the quality of our thoughts become pure and peaceful, then there's a lot of freedom inside, a lot of lightness inside, that I've become free from what is negative and unnecessary, and then the face begins to bloom.
I'll tell you the story of what happened in the year 2000 For the first time, the United Nations brought together religious and spiritual leaders to the United Nations for the Millennium Peace Summit. Dadi Janki was representing the Brahma Kumaris, and it was a very beautiful gathering, very powerful. And there was one particular session where we met with the Under Secretary Generals and Assistant Secretary Generals of the different departments of the UN. Each one of them was talking about their own particular section: the environment, children at risk, disarmament, finance, international labor, and each one of them had the same story to tell. And their story was that when the UN had started, they had less money, less technical information, less technology in terms of equipment, less human resources, less of everything. But even after all these years of putting in all of this energy on all these different levels, the situation now was worse than it had been at the start of the UN. And they said that we were looking at the subject and thinking, well, what's happened? What can we do about it? And they said, we realized that it's not all of these resources that can change the situation, but the only way the situation can change if human hearts and human conscience goes through a change. And this is why we've called all of you together. Sometimes people say today that, people have hot heads and cold hearts, but you have to switch it around. It has to be warm hearts and cool heads that are looking at the situation. So only when there's a change within human individuals can we bring about change within the world.
We may have come from many different countries and cultures. Within our hearts, I think we hold the same vision of a better world, of greater security, peace, justice, understanding and respect for all people. Once we have seen in the eye of our mind that such a world can and should exist, it is a responsibility to help make it happen. But it is what is in our hearts that builds a lovely home. ऐसे कराची कभी बनेगा अरे मेरा सपना साकार
बदल जाए दुनिया न बदलेंगे हम तुम्हारी कसम बदल जाए दुनिया न बदलेंगे हम तुम्हारी कसम तुम्हारे हैं जब तक के दम में है दम तुम्हारी कसम.
When we use the word organization, we think it should operate like a company does. Systems and policies. These words don't apply to us because actually we're a family. And the word policy and systems don't apply in a family. In a family, there's give and take. You might argue, you have good times, there are hard times.
Want to detach.
These 5 fingers are detached.
Detach. Be loving.
And when they come together, they're loving. Internally, there's a
प्यार
connection of
अविनाशी
love,
है.
and that love is imperishable.
वो छूट नहीं सकता
It can't be
उसमें सुख
destroyed
शांति
and it
प्रेम
can't be
है
disconnected. And within that love is merged peace and
तो
happiness.
फैमिली फीलिंग है
And because of peace, love, and happiness, there's
यही
a
संसार
family
है
feeling that is generated. This is how
हमको
the world needs to be
संसार को
created.
सुखमय बना रहे हैं
And so, what are we doing now? We are creating this world of
इतनी
happiness.
जो लाखों
It is a family of these pure and happy relationships. On what basis? It's because each
अपने
one takes
मन
directly from the Supreme.
On who I am, who I really am.
When I began this study and started hearing ideas that, like, you are a soul, you're a child of God, the truth about you is that you are love and peace and joy, all of these things actually, they went in one ear and out of the other, in the sense that some memory stirred inside that there was a truth there, but the intellect couldn't really handle these ideas because it was so matter-oriented.
अपन को अकेली देह से भी अलग आत्मा हूँ
I have to consider
तो
myself
उनसे वो संबंध की
first
शक्ति मिलती है
to be alone, a soul alone in this body. And when I raise myself into the consciousness of being that soul, then I'm able to draw that supreme power from the Supreme.
If a soul starts thinking about spirituality by understanding spiritual knowledge, their life can be transformed. And that's what her mission in life is, to transform souls away from materialism to spirituality, to bring them closer to God.
करके रहना है
We have to live in
सबको भी
harmony.
ईश्वरी प्रेम में मिलाना है
We have to inspire
ये
everyone
दुनिया
and
में काम
connect
करना
everyone
ज़रूरी है
with God's love. This is the work that we need to do in the world today.
So, Dadi, of course, always talks about her connection with God all the time. And I have great difficulties with that. And I found a way around it. So, whenever she speaks about God, I write God with two O's. And I ultimately believe that is what she really means. When she says connect to God, what you really do mentally and emotionally, you connect to good. And I think when she says first connect to God, I say first connect to good, and then we're on the same page again.
अंदर भगवान मेरा साथी है
But I've
एक तो
always
माता पिता है
maintained
तो मैं उसकी हूँ
the awareness that God is my companion. Yes, there is the first awareness that God is my mother and my father and that I belong to God as a child.
दूसरा जिसकी कंपनी में रहते हैं ना उन जैसा बनना नेचुरल हो जाता है
And then secondly, in whoever's company I remain, it becomes easy to become like them.
Dadi Janki is in love with God.
कोई कहते तुम सिनेमा देखा है क्या देखूं बनाई हुई स्टोरी है ना
Sometimes people say to me, have you watched the movies at the cinema? And I said,
प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ के अंदर
why should I watch something that's made up? But this is a practical life story.
लॉ की कहानी शेयर कर दें तो लॉ में खो जाते हैं मैं क्या करूं
If I was to begin sharing this love story with you, then I would become lost in love.
Thank you for your inspiration, for your life and love. Thank you for your recognition of the one above. Thank you for your sweet compassion, for your life of truth. Thank you for walking on this earth. Thank you for being you. The river flows back to the ocean. The trees turn back to dust. The sun must set as the day ends, and so shall all of us. The gift of silence is returned to each one soul by soul. I know you hold it in your heart as you watch your life unfold. So go to the sea, flow to the ocean, fly like a bird to his arms. Take all the love of all who will miss you, but know we are never apart. Thank you for your inspiration, for your life and love. Thank you for your recognition of the one above. Thank you for your sweet compassion, for your life of truth. Thank you for walking on this earth. Thank you for being you. Oh, thank you for walking on this earth. are secrets to tell. There are secrets to treasure. There are burdens to lay down and to carry no more. There are messengers who come, who will guide you on your journey. If only you will listen, oh, if only you will hear. The old man is standing and he's waiting for your answer. Can you find the courage now, or will you be the slave of time? The cage bird, it sings of the blue skies and the sunshine, never realizes that the door is open wide. So believe in your goodness and shine through your darkness, and face all your fears with a smile and a wave. All the tears that you have cried are now turning into diamonds, and every road you tread is a road that's paved with gold. So believe in your goodness and shine through your darkness, and face all your fears with a smile and a wave. All the tears that you have cried are now turning into diamonds, and every road you tread is a road that's paved with gold. Every road you tread is a road that's paved with gold. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so